Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the annual With Love Benefit Gala. My name is Scott Roth, and in addition to being the husband of Allie Roth, the founder and president of With Love, again, for the third time in the row, I am the one who gets to welcome you into this evening. So obviously, the format for this event has changed. It's changed dramatically. We're no longer meeting in person, as we have in the past years and as we had planned to do earlier this year. But tonight, I want to tell you for sure that the spirit of the event stays the exact same. Tonight, we have three main objectives that we're trying to do with this event. Number one is to show honor and dignity to a group of heroes in our community, the people who have said yes to answer the calling and taking children into their home and providing foster care. The second thing that we want to do is raise awareness of the way that all of us together can become part of the village that surrounds these heroes and has a huge impact on their success and on the lives of children in foster care. And third, we want to raise funds. We want to raise funds for With Love to help them continue to increase their mission and to increase the impact that they are having on the foster care community. So obviously, COVID-19 has had a massive impact on all of our lives and on all the world. But one of the areas where COVID-19 has had a big impact and continues and will continue to have a big impact is on the foster care system. Any one of you who have children at home, young children, know how challenging it has been to manage through the circumstances that have unfolded over the last couple of months. But just think for yourself, not only if you have your own biological family that you're caring for, but you are one of the people who has said yes to take one or many children from foster care into your home. Think about caring for your own family's needs, but also having other children that you have to care for their physical, their mental, their emotional needs. You have to do doctor's visits, both in person and virtual. You have to do court cases, both in person and virtual. You have to do parent visits, both in person and virtual. The toll that foster families are carrying right now is very, very heavy. And unfortunately, we have a brewing situation that is happening underneath the surface. While most of the world is starting to reopen and to come back to life, there is a really, really difficult reality that is most likely facing the foster care community. As people come back into the real world, most likely more children are going to be going into foster care because of abuse, because of neglect, because of a lack of contact with mandatory reporters. All of these factors are leading to a potential increase in the number of children going into foster care. At the same time, we have budget challenges. The state of Oregon has asked all of the agencies across the state to prepare themselves in the event that they need to make budget cuts. The state of Oregon has suggested that potentially up to 17% of the budget will be impacted going into this next fiscal year. And for DHS, that means potentially $325 million of funding that could go away. And even more than that because of federal dollars that are matching the programs that they're doing. While we have no idea exactly how this is all going to play out and how these numbers are going to impact the lives of the children in foster care, what we do know is that the goods and services that With Love provides are super important today, but they are going to be even more important as we go into the future. Tonight, every single one of us has an opportunity to show up and to lean in, to be a part of the solution and not dwell on the problem. Every single one of us has an opportunity to take to heart the challenges that families are facing because of foster care and to open up their hearts and open up their wallets to be a part of the solution. One group of individuals that has already stepped up to the plate and shown their support is our generous sponsors for tonight. And I want to take a second to say a huge heartfelt thank you to all of them for sticking by With Love, even though we've made the transition to a virtual event away from a physical event. And if you have the opportunity, I would love for you to be able to support these businesses as well. So let's say a huge virtual round of thanks to Northwest Private Lending, Apex Real Estate Partners, Educational Excellence, PKA Architects, Portland Compressor, Kerr-Larley Wealth Management, BECU, and Cushman and Wakefield. All of those sponsors have been super generous to the organization and are really the ones who have made tonight's event possible. So before I go, one last appeal from me. Please lean into the opportunity tonight. I hope you have a fantastic evening. I hope you're able to learn new things about the way that anyone can support foster care. You may not be able to open up your home, but every single one of us has an opportunity to be a part of the solution. Thank you very much.
Good evening. I'm so glad you're joining us tonight. Thank you for carving out time in your schedule. So tonight, Scott and I were getting ready to go out on apparently a date night. Recently, we haven't had much time to get dressed up, put on high heels. All be enough for us tonight. Our date was at the With Love facility, but we'll take it. Tonight, we have a lot to tell you about and a lot to celebrate. So thanks for joining us. I wanted to kick off tonight from the With Love facility. This time last year, I was talking about a new change that was going to happen at this location. And here we are, thanks to your generosity. This space has been critical to us for our growth and success of With Love in this past year. And I wanted you to see what a difference a year can make. Before I go any further, I wanted to take a moment to thank the strong heartbeat of With Love, which is our board of directors and our staff. Due to their commitment and hard work, With Love has been able to thrive this past year, including the last 4 months. Because of their dedication, we can serve these kids well and love our community. I'm so delighted to share with you 3 huge opportunities that With Love is embarking on. However, before I share that, I wanted to show you what has happened over this past year thanks to your generosity. As you know, With Love is growing rapidly to support the kids in the Oregon foster care system. We do this by curating custom deliveries to support the needs of each individual child. We also create family-centric events that allow foster families opportunities to bond, but also meet other foster parents. You see, being a foster parent is a lot of hard work. We strive to retain these amazing foster parents and encourage them. As you can see, With Love continues to grow rapidly. In 2019, we created 914 custom deliveries. An average delivery is $1,500. Many of these deliveries serve more than one child. When looking at the numbers, With Love has had 2,350 connect points with kids in foster care through community events and deliveries. We gave out $1.5 million worth of items and around $100,000 worth of free events for 705 people who attended them. We can only do this because of the community wrapping around and partnering with us, plus the volunteers that have leaned in and invested over 7,000 hours of their time to make this happen. This season has been challenging for many of us. With Love had to pivot quickly to rely on staff to serve these foster families. Instead of stepping back and waiting, With Love staff leaned in to support these foster family heroes. Since March, we have served 181 kids with deliveries and had 4 social distancing events. With that, we have served 690 touch points with our foster families. I want to take a moment to acknowledge my 5 other staff members that during this critical time in history showed up in mighty ways for these foster families. Last year, when we were together at the Oregon Golf Club, which seems like forever ago now, I told you about 3 key initiatives your funds were going towards. I want to take a moment to reflect back and tell you what has happened since. First, we needed to hire a volunteer and warehouse supervisor. Well, we were growing so fast, we actually hired 2 people. Meet Allison. She's our program supervisor. She's amazing. When you walk into With Love, she's the one who greets you. She's the one who oversees our volunteers and our warehouse to make sure everything is running smoothly as possible. Then, to add some heightened spunk to the team, we hired Chris. He's operations support. He helps all of our warehouse activities go smoothly. Recently, he's been helping a ton with our events. Second, we needed to hire an intern coordinator for our 3 amazing interns. Shanna was the biggest gift to our team last summer. With her guidance and hard work, a lot of the physical work happened to move us into this facility. Because of her, we were able to invite 3 amazing ladies to be a part of our summer staff last year. She was amazing for the job. Third, we needed to grow our funds to help our pajama and clothing budget. Our goal last year was to raise $12,000. In 2019, we spent $21,000 on kids' clothing to meet the needs of our kids that were in care. That $12,000 was critical to make that a success. Finally, last year I hinted that there's a change for With Love's location. Well, here we are, and we're thankful for our new space. So many of our friends, supporters, and family rallied around us financially, also with their time and in-kind donations. This new facility has new fancy things like parking, heat, and cooling. Anyone who'd been with us in the other warehouse knows how tricky that was for us. Thanks to this new facility, we've been able to host more groups per week and increase our drive-through program. We are able to also house more items, which allows us to better serve our foster families. Moving to this location was one of the hardest and best things in the history of With Love. Tonight we gather to support the foster care community. Scott and I know this pretty well because we're foster parents ourselves. With Love is committed to serve these amazing children with dignity and love. We know that as the state of Oregon opens up, there's a potential for a surge of kids going into care. We will be there as a community to support these families as they open up their homes and their heart. We can only do this, though, through your generous donations. With Love has 3 exciting things to share with you tonight about our future. We can only do this, though, with the help and support like we've had in the past. First, with our rapid growth, we need to add a new key team member. We need your support to finance this position. This role will help us grow and support the work that we're already doing. Second, in July, With Love gets the last part of our facility. We actually couldn't afford it when we moved in. So in July, we take this over, which adds $1,000 monthly to our rent. We are eager to get in there and make it our own. We have found out this past year how vital it is to have more room, specifically when we put on events for our foster families. As you can see, this also needs to be redesigned a bit to meet our needs. Third, we are proud to announce that we are creating a new location on the east side of Portland. We have a significant amount of foster parents on the east side that could use our support. For now, we're calling this a With Love Studio. This will be a place that over the weekend, foster parents can swing by and get the essentials they need for the weekend when you get a new placement. Typically, a child comes to your house with a few hours' notice with the clothes on their back, and there's a huge need to get the basics for them. The studio will serve as a place for foster parents to stop in and get some of the items they need for that weekend. They can then place a request for the delivery, which is open during the weekdays. This is going to be a game changer for us in the foster care community. This location is still in a dream state. We'll need a lot of your support to make this dream a reality. We need to build it out and make it look like a place that reflects dignity and love. Right now, it looks just like a stage, which honestly it is. But we have plans to make it a beautiful place where foster families can come and shop for the items they need. Tonight is a big night for the foster care community. With Love has been able to grow and meet the needs of our community because of you. Have fun and know that you're critical in the success of With Love's new phase.
Well, good evening, folks. My name is Patrick Cyber, and I am honored to be your fundraising host and auctioneer this evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the With Love live stream. I could not be more excited to support With Love and the incredible foster children and families that benefit from the tireless efforts of the staff and volunteers at With Love. I know the team at With Love has the energy and passion to provide our foster families with the products and services they need. Tonight, we're asking you, our loyal supporters, to provide the financial resources necessary to secure those products that our team distributes these deserving foster families. Virtual giving feels just as good as giving in person. It just looks a little different. If you're watching us now, you have found the live stream. Now I'm going to ask you to grab a second device, probably your phone. This is going to be your PID paddle for tonight. Please use your web browser to navigate to withloveoregon.org and click on the Virtual Spring Benefit link. Then click on the online bidding button to register and start bidding and supporting With Love. We are giving away a $100 Amazon gift card tonight to one of our lucky bidders, so make sure you register. Our online auction for items packages 4 and higher will close at 7:30. That's only about 16 minutes from now. So please make sure you're registered and bid on packages 4 and higher because those will close at 7:30. We'll be closing packages 1 through 3, our featured items, a little later right here in the show. Be sure to use the blue bid button to place your maximum bid so the software will automatically advance your bid when you are outbid. That way, you will get a text when you reach your maximum bid amount only and not each time you're outbid. If you have any challenges, not a problem. Please contact us here in the studio by dialing 503-479-5544. Hey, I want to echo Scott's comments earlier, and I want to give a shout out for our sponsors tonight that have stood behind With Love as we have had to pivot our event to virtual. These companies are on your screen now, and we hope you will support these organizations when you have a chance, just like they've supported With Love. I also want to thank the incredible families and organizations that had already purchased tickets and tables for tonight's event up at the Oregon Golf Club. These generous folks have decided to forego their tables and meals tonight by making their purchases a straight donation. A big thank you for your incredible generosity. Hey folks, at this time, I want you to join me in welcoming my co-host for tonight and our very motivational leader at With Love. Please welcome our founder and president by putting your glasses down and bringing your hands together as we welcome the amazing Allie Roth.
Hey, Patrick, it's so nice to be here tonight.
It's great to be with you, Allie.
Oh my gosh, can I just tell you, so many of my friends out there are outside enjoying a drink right now with friends. So we just wanted to say welcome. You know, Patrick, we have people from Florida, Chicago, St. Louis, Idaho, California, and a lot from Portland tuning in today. So it's a really big night for us. So thanks so much for tuning in. Well, many of you have been a part of the With Love family, but to those of you who are new, welcome. With Love started 7 years ago in my house. And because of the community wrapping around us, you have allowed us to expand and expand and expand over the last 7 years. Now, thank goodness, we're out of my house. It's been a while. And we're in a 6,500 square foot warehouse. With Love is an expression of the community coming in, wrapping around, and allowing us to serve these foster families well. So to kick us off tonight, I want to share with you a story from one of my friends that I met through With Love. It's the Bell family. When I started at With Love early on, Becky Bell showed up and started volunteering literally on my floor. Over time, she got her husband to start volunteering, and they started discussing, maybe we could be foster parents. And I just thought their story was too good not to share. So it's my pleasure to introduce you to my good friends, the Bell family.
I think the most powerful realization I had becoming a foster parent was, this is hard. Like, this is harder than I thought it was going to be. But the good thing that came out of that is I need to do more hard things. So she was already volunteering for a long time at that time. And I remember she'd come home really excited, really fired up, just had so much fun, but also just so many stories that she'd come home with, and hard not to get excited about that. It was infectious in a way. And so I remember this was very early on. I was a delivery driver to start with the organization, and it was awesome. Even with my crazy work schedule, we have lots of kids. Sometimes I lose count. But it still works, and I'm still able to do that on a weekly basis. And I'm just doing an hour a week, but I know that it's helping because it's helped our family as well.
I had the opportunity to volunteer with some other amazing foster families, and I saw how these foster parents were so involved in these foster kids' lives, and they cared so much about them. And since we had always considered adoption, it sort of seemed like a natural transition to start with foster care and see what it would be like to add another child into our home that wasn't part of our biological family. We sort of just took a step of faith, and it seemed like the right thing to do to step into this journey into foster care. And our kids rolled with it too, fortunately. They fell in love with these babies that came into our home. It was really beautiful to see.
When we went from being donors, also volunteers, to being on the receiving end when we became foster parents, it still blew me away by how much stuff and effort went into the things that showed up in our home. So we were the ones that were bringing a lot of those things to the warehouse, and we were helping a lot behind the scenes, but it doesn't really hit you until it shows up at your house how much With Love is actually doing behind the scenes, the amount of people that were involved to get all that stuff pulled together, and the quality of the donations. Like,
Yeah.
I could argue that some of the things we got were better than the brand new store-bought things that we were going to Target for. Like, that's just the quality of things that we were receiving.
When you think about stepping into foster care, most people don't know that you are not handed a bunch of cash and
Yes.
told, here's how you're going to provide for this child. To have these donations coming in just days after a child has been placed into your home, I mean, you're talking car seats and strollers, formula, diapers and wipes, really critical things that you need when you have these little people in your home. It's huge. We realized we had nothing for babies coming into our home, and that was the age group that we were focused on at the time. So it was really just such a blessing that we already were involved with Love, and we knew that they were going to be there to support us through this process.
The number one thing that we hear from families that are scared to do foster care is we are scared that we're gonna become too attached. We're scared that we're gonna love them too much. And then my wife very wisely said, those are the exact people that should be doing foster care because they care so much. It should be hard when they leave. It should be hard for your family. That means that it's what you should be doing. We need more of those kind of people. I'm still learning too.
Wow. Well, I don't know how you do
Right?
it. I mean, what an incredible story. It is so amazing to see how somebody you probably asked years ago to come by and help, can you help me out? And then for them to develop into this situation where they have foster kids and they're dealing with this. It speaks volumes to you and your team, what you've done, your board, everybody involved with Love. And what I keep coming back to is the impact that you've had on the
Right.
community by what you've done with these kids.
And we just love them. They're just so authentically incredible.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. We're going to hear some more stories tonight, folks, and get the Kleenex, because I'm telling you what, this is from the heart. It
Right.
is truly with love, and so this is fantastic. Hey, I do want to remind our viewers tonight that the majority of our online bidding will close at 7:30. That's 8 minutes from now. 8 minutes to make those final bids. Bid high, bid often. Support with love. Friends, now is the time we're going to come together as everybody. Whether you're out there in the internet, whether you're here with us in the studio, we're going to come together and we're going to make a single collective gift to With Love. You've been very generous in the past. And we heard earlier tonight from Allie that With Love has been a great steward of that generosity, delivering on all the promise it has made to you and the families it serves. We also heard some aggressive goals for the funds raised
Absolutely.
from this evening's event. So we're going to ask you to give from your heart tonight. We know that we have all been affected by the events of 2020. And we know With Love services are going to be needed more than ever. We heard Scott and Allie talk about as things come open again, we're going to find more kids that need help.
Absolutely.
And With Love's going to be there to do it, but they're not going to be able to do it without the support of our friends in the audience tonight. Folks, I'm going to run through a series of levels of giving tonight. When I reach a level that not only pulls at your heart, but matches your pocketbook, we're going to ask you to click on that donate button on the top right of your bidding page and choose the level of giving that's important to you. I want to remind you that every donation and every dollar we raise here tonight is important at With Love. I'm excited to announce, Allie, this is great news. I'm excited to announce that we have an anonymous donor that has provided a $25,000 challenge to our audience.
It's such a gift.
Unbelievable.
Such a gift.
Phenomenal gift. And what I mean by that is they are going to match every donation made during tonight's show up to $25,000. So if you were going to give $1, it's now worth $2. If you were going to give $500, it's worth $1,000. If you were going to give $100,000, it's now worth $200,000, right? Why wouldn't that work for us, huh? So every dollar you donate will be doubled this evening. Our first level of giving tonight is going to be at the $5,000 level. I am so excited to announce we received $5,000 pledges from the following individuals prior to going on the air tonight. We want to extend a big round of thank yous to Eric and Nicole Larson for their
Absolutely.
phenomenal
Yes.
support at the
Yes.
$5,000 level.
So generous.
We also received an anonymous gift at $5,000. So we're off to a great start,
Awesome.
right? And folks, if you're in a position to join these individuals and families, now is the time. Click on that donate button right now. We'll give you a couple of minutes to do that. While they're clicking on that donate button, Allie, you shared with me that you've identified a couple of impact awards.
Absolutely.
Would you mind sharing us one of those impact award winner stories?
I would love to. So, Patrick, this year we decided to look at some individuals that have made a big impact on With Love as a nonprofit and then nonprofit as a community. So we looked around and said, who has stepped in and really supported us? So John Patton has been a donor for years. He's been a wonderful volunteer, and he realized we were having a couple issues being a small nonprofit. You see, he works at Salesforce, and he knew that I was having issues with all of our data being in different places and trying to figure it out. And so John said, you know what, I'm committed to you. I want to make sure that we get With Love on the Salesforce platform, and I'm going to walk you through this, which is such a big task at hand. He's a busy guy, he has a big family, and yet he is walking with us. So tonight, John is with his family. He has his award, and wanted to say thank you, John. One thing that he did, Patrick, that was so just stellar and changing for us was he nominated us for this group called Traction on Demand. Traction on Demand is actually in Canada, and they're going down to California, and on the way they stop at some nonprofits and support anyway. Customized volunteer system for us that's now on Salesforce. They came down, they volunteered with us, they showed us how to use our new platform, and it was all because John nominated us. So we had such a good day. Can I just show you what happened that day?
That would be awesome. I'd
Okay,
love
great.
to see it.
Hey gang, it's Maddie. It's the beginning of day 4 and we are about to head out to Portland. Super excited. We're going to be working with Love and we're going to do some good.
My name's Allie Roth, and I'm the founder of With Love. We serve local kids in the Oregon area with tangible goods, clothing, and gear, and we also do community events to create retention amongst foster families. Foster care is scary, and we need more people that are willing to say yes. So we're trying to make foster care approachable, and it's giving that loud voice of dignity and love and saying, we see you. It's a one-way expression of love to these kids that have no voices and no say in their current circumstances. Volunteers are the heartbeat of With Love. We've had to use so many manual processes on free software, and it just eats up our time. And so to make it be on one platform, to make it clean data, and to make it be something that people that want to volunteer can very easily find us, know it's available, click, sign in, and get thanked for their time. Their time is recorded, and it's just be a seamless experience. We haven't had that yet. So with Leanne and Fatima and Maddie, we've been chatting for weeks. They didn't want to just solve our problem. They wanted to know not what they were doing, but why they were doing it. It wasn't just the blanket, here's what it is, this is what nonprofits need, here you go. It was listening so well of these are the templates you're gonna need based off what you've said. And to see data we could never reach in the past, we've never had this at our fingertips. We have never had the opportunity to try something else because we could never afford it. And so we're not somebody who's tried 7 things and aren't going to use it. This is our lifeline that you guys provided today. When people are empowered to volunteer with their skill set, it just elevates a nonprofit. And today was an elevation on so many different levels. The Traction Bandits today, they are superheroes, making the bags and shopping for individual children to say, not only is this a theory and I'm helping kids with clothes, I'm shopping for those individual children. And I know that within days, these individual kids who do not have the clothes, they don't have the shoes, they don't have the high chairs, the car seats, will have their own things that are custom picked for those children. That was all done by our bandits.
All right, Patrick, so you can see us getting nominated by the Patton, John coming in, nominating us made it just a huge difference to us. So Patton family, I know you guys are celebrating with family tonight. We love you here. Thank you so very much, and congratulations on your award.
Absolutely. What a game changer. This is an incredible night. Thank you so much for the Pattons and all you've done. The Bandit Tour, what a cool story.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, people don't understand what it takes to put one of these events together, and your organization, and having help from the Pattons, that's just fantastic. Hey, folks, we're rolling them in. The made a $3,000 gift.
Wow.
So thank you so very much, Gary. Hey, folks, as we go to our next level, I want to acknowledge a few other advanced donations. We had another gift of $3,000 from an anonymous donor. So thank you very, very much. This name's familiar to us all. I want to thank Kristen and Josh Kohlberg for a very generous gift of $2,500. Kristen's on your board.
Absolutely, she's
wonderful. What a
wonderful.
great family, huh? Yeah. She's been in Blossom. Thank you, Kristen and Josh, for your support of With Love. I also want to acknowledge several companies. A lot of these were sponsors that provided us with gifts of $2,000. Apex Real Estate Partners, BECU, Cushman and Wakefield, Educational Excellence, Kerr Larley, PKA Architects, the Kohlbergs at Work Again, and Portland Compressor. All of these folks at the $2,000 level, right? This is incredible. Hey, if you're in a position to support With Love with a contribution of $2,000 or higher, now's the time. Click on that donate button, make a gift, knowing that it will be doubled thanks to our generous anonymous donor. We want you to make that click now. While we're doing that, I think you had a second Impact Award winner. Can you share with us?
We do, Patrick, and it's actually a duo. So Kim Kenny and Tanya Rulo, they work at Nike. And they are just wonderful, wonderful supporters of With Love. So we're choosing them for our Impact 2020 award winners on the community. You see, years ago, we always knew the holidays were a big time for our foster families. And so we made all these cute things put together in bags to bring them, we called them stocking stuffers at the time. The bags inevitably fell apart. There was like no dignity in that whatsoever. So they came up with an idea of, what if we use shoe scraps from Nike to make these stockings? Wow. So we made custom ones for years, and they were great. And then one day they said, Allie, we want to make something year-round for these kids. So now they make custom-made pillowcases that they dye and everything's special, and then we pack them full of the donated items. So they have stepped in. They have been so generous with their time. As a matter of fact, I know Kim's with her family tonight, having a great time, and Tanya's all dressed up. It's an awards show. So she and her husband dressed up, and they're celebrating
together. I can hear the Academy Award music now.
Oh, they have been just wonderful. So to show you really what the impact that they've made, we have this little video, Patrick.
Let's take a look.
Hi, at With Love, we provide kids ages 0 to 6 with tangible goods, item, and clothing. Now, this holiday season's a big time for us. You see, the holidays can be really exciting and fun, but it also can be a little complicated for kids in foster care. So what we do is we are having all of Oregon come together to give a resounding yes that we're going to support you for the holidays. What that looks like is at With Love, we've got these different bins that different companies, churches, neighborhoods have been collecting stocking stuffers for us for months. What happens is you come read this list, you put all your belongings in here, and you think, okay, so what happens? I donated. What's the next step? Today, we want to show you what that looks like. So we've been collecting all these donations all around Portland. We've had volunteer teams in for weeks, sorting these by gender and ages, because we want these stockings to be perfect just for those children. So right here, you'll see we have a lot of the sorted donations that have already come in, and we're having a team come in this afternoon to make over 800 stockings. The exciting thing is for the past 4 years, the design team has been making things for us to carry these stocking stuffers in. This year, they made 1,000 of these pillowcases that we're going to use to stuff, because the kids can use pillowcases all year round. Once they are stuffed, they are going to be ready to go out to homes today. We had Our Lady of the Lake here in Churchill Mortgage making over 500 of these stockings. They took all the items, they made sure they were beautifully packaged. Today, some of them have already gone out, and this evening they're going to be divided up through DHS offices, foster parent night out groups, and deliveries. This evening, they are heading out our door to make Christmas brighter for these kids. One thing that makes this so special is everything you see going on around us is because of the Portland community. It's a Portland community wrapping around children in foster care to ensure that they have a bright holiday season. Without our community partners, this can't happen.
So Patrick, you can see why Nike makes such a big difference. It was because of the leadership with Nike and Tanya, or with Kim and Tanya. First of all, I just wanted to take a moment and say, Kim, Tanya, I see you. We love you. Thanks for walking alongside of us. It means a lot to me and the whole team.
Absolutely. What a great story. I love it when I see people have the resources and they give like this and make a difference in so many lives. Speaking of making a difference, we've gotten some terrific online donations. Hey, I want to thank Shanna for her gift of $2,000. Yes. I think she's a dear friend of the organization.
And a board member as well.
And a board member. Yes. So there we go. Touch them all.
Yes.
She's in at $2,000. That is fantastic. Folks, our next level of giving will be at the $1,000 level. I want to thank in advance some folks that reached out to us and were able to give us a gift of $1,000. We want to thank Pittman and Brooks. We want to thank Shalon Pappas. We want to thank the Driscoll family, the Siegel family, the Thurman family, the Van Horn family, and we'd love to add your name to that list. Go up in the right-hand corner and click that donate button. And if you're in a position to make a gift of $1,000 or more to With Love, now's the time to do it, folks. Now's the time. You were sharing some stories with me over the while we've been preparing for this, and a couple of them were really impactful to me. One of them was talking about your open house and the expansion. Would you mind sharing that story with us?
Yeah, absolutely, Patrick. So last year this time we were at the dinner, and I said, there's going to be a change happening. I didn't really tell you what the change was going to be. You see, we knew we had to leave our warehouse space. It was just too small. If you'd been there in the past, we had 1,500 square feet, actually in 2 different units. So they were side by side. We didn't have fancy things like parking, air conditioning, even heat. And it just really wasn't ideal for what we were doing. So thanks to our capital campaign donors and our dinner last year, we were able to move into the With Love facility. Oh my gosh, it has been an absolute game changer for us. So we moved in, and in July, we wanted to have an open house to say thank you to all of our supporters, to say welcome in, and then to also see what the new phase is going to be. So we now have, bragging a little bit, parking.
Wow.
I know.
All the luxuries.
I know. We needed it. We got it. We also have some heat. A little
Heat's
cooling.
a good thing.
Yes.
Maybe not the next few days, but normally heat is really helpful.
And when you have so many volunteers in and out, it's like those basic things that we needed. And now we can because of our supporters. So the With Love facility, we absolutely love it. We'd love for you to come in. If you haven't, if you're local, come volunteer with us. We're opening up slowly, but this has been a game changer. And we can only do this because of the With Love community wrapping around us and supporting us so we can keep growing. Now in July, we get that 4th bay, which I've alluded to. That's an extra $900 per month. And we couldn't have afforded it last year. We're really hoping tonight's dinner will support us so we can open up because Patrick, because of this new facility, we can deliver better and really supply our foster families with what they need in a timely manner.
Yeah, and that's what's important, right?
Absolutely, at the end of the day.
You can't put a big enough value on it. And none of this would have happened had you not got the support from this event a year ago.
Absolutely.
And now you've got some great initiatives for this coming year, right? To make it better, to make it bigger, to be able to help more families. And now's the time, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, looky here. I want to acknowledge Shannon and Mark Frischnick coming in at $1,000. My old buddies, Shannon and Mark, thank you very, very much for your incredible generosity. Tara Haslip, another good friend out of Sherwood, thank you so much for your incredible contribution at $1,000. Also want to thank Mr. and Mrs. Alfred Calbray for their
Yes.
nice gift at $1,000. Shanna, I mentioned Shanna earlier. How about Monet coming in at $1,000? Thank you so very much. And
Wow.
someone I think you know pretty well, Lauren Musso.
My sister.
Your sister
Yes,
at
and her
$1,000.
husband. Oh,
Thank
this
you
is great.
so much, Lauren. Yeah,
Yes.
there you go. You didn't strong arm her, did you? A little bit. There you
Don't
go.
tell my mom.
This is fantastic, folks. They're rolling in just as fast
Man.
as we can say them out loud. So this is fantastic. Thank you so much for what you're doing. Every dollar we're matching. This is great. Here we go. Our next level of giving, ladies and gentlemen, will be at the $500 level. I want to acknowledge Sharon Rupert for her getting us started tonight at the $500 level.
Absolutely.
There's several others on the board I can see already. I'll try to mark them down and share them with you here in a second. But if you're in a position to support With Love right now with a $500 or higher, take it as high as you want, folks. $500 gift right now, this would be the time to hit that donate button. Hey, Allie, one of the things you talked about in your video, you talked a little bit about last year, talking about it, was the intern program at With Love. You shared a really cool story with me. Can you share that story with our audience?
Absolutely. Let's just talk more about Shanna, right?
There you go.
Okay, here
it's
we
the
go.
amazing Shanna.
So I got up on stage last year and said, we want to have an intern coordinator. So your funds will help us support that for the summer. And guess what? We hired Shanna. With her came along 3 other interns that we hired, Rory, Tamara, and Paige. Oh my gosh, the laughter and love last summer that we got from this team was amazing. Honestly, Patrick, they had to do a lot of the moving from, I told you how we had the warehouse and facility. It wasn't easy to do. They were in for it. Also, the thing that was so great about them is they got to learn about the foster care system. They started interacting with our foster families. They started going to events, and they just, gosh, the bonding and the love that happened and the knowledge of now the foster care system that they have going forward in college is just huge. So the intern program really was kicked off because of our dinner last year. And those 3 girls, we just loved them. And Shanna as well.
Absolutely. Well, Shanna's a big part of the organization. That's
Absolutely.
very clear. So thank you, Shanna, for all that you are doing. That's absolutely awesome. Hey, a couple of folks, I want to thank Sarah for a very generous gift at $500. I also want to acknowledge Nicole for reaching out. Here comes Marilyn Shankin at $1,000. So thank you very, very much, Marilyn. We could not be more appreciative of your gift. I mentioned Sarah Taft and Nicole Suarez, both at $500.
Thank you.
This
Thank
is
you.
special, all right?
Yes.
Our next level of giving, ladies and gentlemen, will be at the $250 level. So if you are comfortable with providing a gift of $250, you can join one of our anonymous donors who provided us with a gift in advance of $250. I also want to thank Maxine and Ed Kroll.
Yes.
They made a very nice gift of $250, and our friend Jen Davis also providing us with a gift at $250. Remember, every gift right now during the show
getting
up to
matched.
$20,000 is getting matched by our anonymous donor. So now's the time. Now's the time, friends. Reach out, hit that donate button, make a difference. Allie and the team are doing a great job helping these foster families with your support, and now's the time to do it. Hey, Allie, I can't imagine all the stories that you have about the last 7 years, and especially, I can't imagine some of the stories about making deliveries.
Oh, it's one of the best volunteer jobs, by the way, that we have. So
I can imagine.
the way it works at With Love is if you're a foster parent, you go online and you tell us, what do you need for your child? Not only that, we ask specific questions like, what's a kid's favorite character? What's their favorite color? We have a volunteer come in and select items just for that child. It's curated with that child in mind. It's not just for a 2-year-old girl. It's for a little girl who loves My Little Pony and glitter, for example. So from there, we compile a delivery. An average price of a delivery is $1,500 that goes out. Then a foster parent can go and request every 90 days. Because, Patrick, seasons are changing. Kids are growing, and we just want to be supporting these amazing children. So behind you is an example of a delivery we actually pulled for a newborn. So we have all the items there.
In one delivery?
Oh yeah, you can get a lot in a Prius is what we've learned because we deliver to your front doorstep if you're 30 minutes from the warehouse. But an example is today, we had 14 pickups in 2 hours. One family drove 3.5 hours for their stuff because it's so critical for them.
Unbelievable.
And our deliveries have gone up 22% since last year alone. So for us, the only way we can keep saying yes and giving them stuff that has dignity, not just stuff, but stuff that has dignity involved, is because of our donors.
That's incredible. 22%, and that's through the incredible challenge that we're experiencing as a society right now. And that's all those, as I heard Scott say, and you've said to me before, the mandatory reporters haven't been working, haven't been in the field. A lot of people have been at home with their kids, probably shouldn't be, and that's going to come to light here real soon. And there's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of pressure, and With Love is going to be needed more than ever.
May was our biggest request month on record. It was just May, so we know it's coming. And so that's the thing, is we have to have the inventory to support these families, again, with dignity. So you today are helping us do that.
They can't do it without you, folks. That is clear and very simple. Now's the time. Click on that donate button. Help them fill that 6,500 square foot warehouse.
Absolutely.
So these families and these children who need your help are able to do that. I want to acknowledge a couple of guests. Kelsey at $500. Michelle at $500.
Thank
Rachel coming in at $500. I know that one name on there. Do you recognize it?
I don't have my glasses on.
Scott Roth
Oh, he's a
coming
good
in
man.
at $3,000. Scott, thank you so much for kicking off the program and being home with the family tonight.
Man, yes.
It's awesome so much. Thank you. I'm going to say Paige Easterday, thank you so much for your generous gift of $250. Folks, our last level of giving we're going to talk about, but I'll tell you what, there is no end tonight, okay? If you want to make a contribution, any amount, any level, tonight's the night to do it. We will be more than happy to take your generous hard-earned dollars and turn them into an impact on these young people's lives. Folks, now's the time. Our next level is at the $100. I want to recognize in advance these contributions that came in early. I want to thank the Kinder family, not at $100, but at $200.
Which is doubled.
Doubled, and that was now $400. Al and Cindy Calabria also made a gift of $200, now $400 for With Love. Wow, this is awesome. And Alfonso Jackson, a $100 gift makes a huge difference, especially when it turns into $200.
He went to college with my mom.
How about that?
And he
Hey,
paid for my ballet
Alfonso.
lessons.
Wow.
I'm not
If
good
you
at
need
ballet.
What kind of ballet?
It was ballet lessons he paid for me back in the day.
How
Yeah.
about that? Huh? The stories. I mean, I love the community. The community around With Love is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's just what a special place you have. Folks, if you're able to support the program in any level, now's the time. Hit that donate button and let's raise some more money.
I love it.
We're going to transition though.
So I'm really interested to see how this is going to go, because we've never done a live auction, and then we're doing it virtually.
Yes.
So we're going to figure out how this is going to go, and I'm going to watch you and cheer you on.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got 3 packages that are closing with you on air.
Yes.
Okay, Patrick, I don't know how this is exactly going to go, so let's do it.
All right, here's the way it's going to work. This is going to be a lot of fun, Allie. We have 3 packages, items 1, 2, and 3. Our top 3 packages, the very top of the bidding sheet. Everybody's been able to bid, right? I want to remind you that our friends that bidding on these packages did start a week ago, so we already have several bids on each of the packages. Allie will introduce each package, and I will share where the bid is currently. We will then ask for you to make your final bid. I encourage you, deeply, deeply encourage you, because I know you want that package, to use the bid amount button. So you can designate the most that you are willing to provide With Love to win this package. It will automatically increase your bid as you are outbid up to that bid amount button, okay? The software will bid for you until it reaches that final number. Please recognize there is a slight delay between what I say here in the studio
Absolutely.
and what you see and hear in your living room. So I want to encourage you, if you're that bidder that's at the auction normally and holds up their bid card at the last second,
sneaky one.
yeah, that tries to snipe the group, you're probably going to lose out, right? So use that bid amount button. Bid high, bid often, and bid as much as you can to support With Love, and we will be doing that right here. So let's go ahead and, Allie, tell us about our first package.
Absolutely. Our first package has you headed to the Cannon Beach on the Oregon coast, and I have a huge place in my heart for Cannon Beach. I just love that place. You will rest comfortably for 2 nights at the famous Tolovana Inn right
place.
on the beach.
Awesome.
You'll enjoy exploring the Oregon coast, and when you get hungry, you'll have 2 gift cards, one at the Cannon Beach Smokehouse and the other one at the Cola Seafood Market, which hands down has my favorite chowder in all in Cannon Beach, in my opinion.
The little crackers in it or no
The
crackers?
oyster crackers?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My kids love those. I just want all the chowder. All the chowder for me. Now, when you get back from the inn from your adventures, you'll have fun and games to entertain you from Geppetto's Toy Shop and a magnum of Napa Valley Quilt Chardonnay to quench your thirst. Details are outlined on the bidding page, but Patrick, where are we standing with this bidding? Because again, this is a whole new platform for me.
Absolutely. Right now, our current high bid is at $900.
All right.
$900, and Mrs. Patsy Anderson Dunn has a winning bid. She's on her way right now. She thinks.
Patsy!
Patsy
Yes, she's a
thinks.
great supporter.
She believes that she's headed to Cannon Beach. But I'll
Okay.
tell you what. Kendra would like to go.
Yes.
And Alex would like to go. There's several folks that have been right behind her. And we're going to give you folks about 3 minutes right now to go ahead and make your final bid. Because otherwise, you're going to miss out, right? And so if we could take it, and you're going to share a story with us.
Yeah, absolutely. So about a year ago, our staff and board got together to talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion. What does it mean to be very inclusive for With Love? What does that look like as an organization? And, you know, when you have a child in your care, we could say children in foster care, not foster children, child in foster care. You know, there's some special needs that some of them have. Some kids need special snaps on their clothes because of feeding tubes, or they can't have snaps. They need to have elastic waistbands. And so we want to make sure that we are giving items to really support these families. The other thing when we talk about dignity is giving items that reflect that child. And so when at all possible, trying to figure out, oh, well, how can we give those items that, you know, have those kids as their main characters, and it's items that they need. Another thing we started last year was doing textured hair classes. And this was really important to me as a foster mom because I needed to know how to do textured hair. And so we had Lisa come in, she was our first instructor, and then Atoya come in the second time and sit down with us foster parents and show us how to do textured hair. What's the products that you need? What is the routine? And then all the foster parents walked out with the materials that they needed for that. So, Patrick, I got to be really honest with you. In this climate right now, With Love is really listening.
Yeah.
We're learning, we're listening, we want to do better, but we also know that we are started in a direction and we have to support these children with the dignity that they deserve.
Absolutely. Can they work on my textured hair?
Yeah, later, after the show.
Okay.
After the show.
You know, Allie, I do want to bring up one thing there because you said something that I really appreciate and I think is important. This conversation started a year ago,
Right.
right? I mean, it is a very popular conversation, as it should be right now. But once again, With Love's ahead of the curve, leaning in, as I hear you and Scott talk about all the time. You started this conversation with your board a year ago. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Keep up.
And we're
the
still
great
learning.
work.
We're learning a
Speaking
lot.
of great work, it looks like Mrs. Patsy Anderson Dunn is heading to, let's see, one more chance, and we are sold. Go ahead and close that one down. Patsy is headed to Cannon Beach and to get a cup of that chowder that you love so much.
She's such a great supporter of With Love and has just walked with us this past year.
That's awesome.
She's been great. And she's going to Cannon Beach.
There you go. Can't go wrong at Cannon Beach. Hey, where are we going next, Allie?
Okay, we are headed to the Oregon wine country, Patrick, and one of my favorite places for me, but really my husband, is going to be the wineries, right?
Yeah.
So there's no better way to take in the wineries than with a scenic helicopter tour with our friends at Tour Divine by Heli. They will take you and 3 guests to 2 or 3 fabulous wineries via their helicopter with special lunch provided by Red Hills Market. Okay, Patrick, we love Red Hills Market. Have you eaten lunch there?
Do I look like I've missed a meal? Everybody's been to Red Hills Market, and if you haven't, you've missed the boat. One of the best places. I would go there just to have lunch there.
It was
fabulous.
It is
place.
so good. So then, after a spectacular day of wine tasting and flying around like a bird, you and a special guest will be looking to relax. We've got you covered. The Allison Inn is world famous for its first-class accommodation and an amazing spa. You and a guest will be staying and enjoying the fine amenities for one night in a posh king room with a fireplace and a 6-foot soaking tub, right?
How good is that?
So we're also including 4 bottles of Pamplin Family Winery Cabernet Sauvignon and a basket of luxury skin and body products from our friends at Meadowood Spa. A lot of our friends tonight are drinking Pamplin wine, I got to tell you, as a wine
Why
sponsor,
wouldn't they be? Pamplin
right?
wine is some of the finest in the valley, so
Yes.
that's outstanding. 6-foot tub, 4 bottles of wine. Maybe you don't have to have them all that night. What do you think?
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. There we go. Hey, folks, we couldn't be more excited. Looky here, the package is at $1,800. A good dear friend of mine, Lauren Donahue, right now has the lead bid at $1,800. But I see Kristen and Katie and some others are really anxious to
absolutely.
get it.
Yeah.
They're excited. But Lauren currently has the high bid at $1,800, folks. We're going to give you about 2 minutes. 2 minutes, I would say, about the most, right?
Okay.
To go ahead and place your final bids. We'll keep track of that while you're making those bids. Allie, you're not just providing incredible products like we see here tonight with us on the set, but you're also hosting some events. Can you share with us a little bit about some of the events you're doing at With Love?
Absolutely. About 2 years ago, we started leaning in more towards our events. You see, being a foster family, and we know this through experience, you just have a lot of classes you need to go to. You have doctor's appointments, lawyer's appointments, visitations. It can be exhausting. So as a foster family, having a moment just to hang out with your family and have a good time is a really big thing. Another thing is if you have 5, 6, 7 kids, which quite a few families do, it's just expensive, right? So we want to put on events to say, hey, we see you, just spend time with your family. Do fun things. So an example was in October, we rented the pumpkin patch at Lee Farms. And so they came in and the kids got to play and run around and have the donuts and the cider and just be kids. Another really popular one that we do is a children's gym. We block that off just for their playtime and the kids just get to run and just play. And then here's another thing that happens is the parents get to talk. You see, being a foster family, it can actually be a little isolating at times and a little lonely. And so to meet other people that are doing the same thing you are, and then what we do in the foster care community is called respite care, so it's like babysitting.
Right.
And so to actually meet other parents that are doing this that you enjoy and to change numbers to help with respite care has been really big. Another thing that's been really fun in the last year is we've started partnering with Cabela's. So I know what you're thinking, outdoor store, right?
I love Cabela's.
Right. So what we started to do is work with them with events. And so one of them is like Fish with a First Responder. A lot of our kids get taken out of their homes by a first responder, and it can be a little scary. So let's go fishing with them. Let's have fun with them. Another one, which was such a delight, was we had Santa Claus coming in a helicopter with real reindeer. It was, well, not the reindeer, we're not in the helicopter. You know, they were like separate things.
Yeah.
But it's just, again, it's events. We're coming together, we're celebrating them, and they get to feel like everybody else. So our events have been a big thing. And again, we can afford them because it's all free. Everything here is free because of our donors like tonight.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. I mean, this isn't like a delivery service just drops a box and run, right? I mean, the community that you're building with love really is something unique.
Yeah.
It is special. But I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, it does not happen without the help of the people on the other end of that camera right now. Looky here, we've got some active bidding. This is a lot of fun.
Okay.
Lauren really wants to go to the wine country, and so do
This is
Martin
great.
and Lori Souza. I'm going to let them go a little bit. What do you
This
think?
is so
Let's
good.
stall.
Oh my gosh.
Let's stall a little, buy a little time. This is when I would normally go, hey, you're at $2,300 bid now, 4 and $2,400 bid now, 24 now, 24. And, hey, Martin and Lori, you need to be at 25 and $2,500. They're refreshing. Here we
amazing.
go. I've got Lauren, the high bidder, at $2,400. Who's going 25? And now $2,500 bid now, 25 and 25. We're going to close it down in about 30 seconds. Hit that refresh. Hit that bid button. We're going with Lauren at $2,400. Oh, no, $2,500.
This is
Here
amazing
we
to
go.
watch in
This is
studio.
fun. We're raising money for With
Back
Love
up,
right
back up.
now.
Woo.
Here we go. Get it up. Turn up
Okay,
the AC in
okay.
here, folks. We're at 25. Come on, Lauren. Step up. We're with Martin and Lori Souza right now at 2,500. Going to give you about 20 seconds, Lauren, or anybody with a bid paddle. Get your phone out. Hit the bid now button and get it on there. We're at 2,500. I think the next increment is 26. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get 26 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sold.
Okay.
$2,500
Martin
to
and
Martin
Lori, I love
and
it.
Lori Souza. Thank you so very, very much.
This
You're
is
headed
great.
to the Oregon wine country, right around in the Tour de Vine by Helly.
Yes.
Red Hills Market, the Allison Inn.
The Allison Inn.
Thank you. Thank you so very, very much for your incredible.
That was great. You got to use your bidder voice.
I got to use a
That's
little bit of bid
amazing.
calling. How about
yes,
that?
I
huh?
wanted to hear that.
Yeah, well, we've been practicing, right? So here we go. Where are we headed next? This is our last package.
It is. Well, don't we need some sand between our toes these days? Well, this package is for you. 7 nights in a suite big enough for 2 adults or 2 adults and 2 kids, ages 11 and under, with one of five luxury beachfront resorts in Mexico.
Wow.
Yes, these Vendata resorts are amazing. Enjoy endless pools, world-class restaurants, live entertainment, tranquil spas, and activities for all ages. But while this is nice and all, we have to show you the video because the video is like ridiculous.
Hey, and we've got some exciting news when we come back from this video.
All right.
Pay attention, folks. You're into wine, but maybe a margarita when we're in Mexico?
Always.
Huh? Why
Always.
wouldn't that work? Picture
Yes.
of margarita, some chips, some salsa.
But what about the weather?
Well, I want to talk to you about that.
Oh.
Because you know what I found?
Huh.
There was no rain in the video. There's
It's a smooth
zero.
sailing when you're there.
And you know what's beautiful about that is it's guaranteed to be raining in Portland when you are in sunny Mexico.
So
Okay?
good. So
hey,
good.
folks, I mentioned I had a surprise for you. This is an incredible situation. Allie, I don't even know if you knew this yet. We are at a special point. We want to congratulate Audrey Mortensen. Audrey purchased a Mexico trip for $2,500.
Awesome. Good job, Audrey.
Yeah, great. Audrey, you're headed to Mexico, okay?
Great.
But you know what? I talked to our friends at Vendata earlier this morning, and they said, hey, Patrick, we heard you're doing the event tonight. We're familiar with Love. The work that Allie and the team do is outstanding.
Okay.
What we would like to do, if you can get to that $2,500 mark, we would love to donate as many as people are willing to buy of this same trip, 7 nights, no blackout dates. I want to also draw attention to something else they shared with me, which was they understand COVID's a big deal right now, and they get it, and people are wondering when they're going to be able to travel or not travel. And they have extended indefinitely the expiration. So what that means, folks, is if you're worried about when you're going to be able to go,
Absolutely.
don't worry. Normally it would be 12 months to book, 18 months to travel. Tonight, with our friends at Vendata, they are saying it is an unending expiration date.
So
Okay?
let me get this under, like, she bought it.
She bought it, but we're going to sell as many as we can at $2,500. So there's no
Wow.
bidding. I don't have to talk fast.
Oh, bummer.
You don't have to worry
Can you,
about
though?
bidding
Can you?
higher. At $2,500, there's
Wow.
package 3A
Okay.
is on our bidding sheet right now on the
Okay.
platform. All you have to do is go there, click buy now, and you can count on going to Mexico.
Wow.
No blackout dates, 7 days, unending expiration date. The only thing they ask is that you let them know 45 days before you travel.
Done.
Okay? Done. So let's see how many of those we're going to sell. We're going to leave that
Wow.
open. I know I talked to Krista a few minutes ago. She's going to help us leave that open until,
This is crazy.
let's say, Sunday.
Okay. Okay.
So if you want to talk, are you enjoying the party you're at right now? Maybe you want to enjoy Mexico with them. I bet there's some people
like,
at
they
the
could all
Kohlberg's
go.
party. They could all go. Right?
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So, like, spring break, you're all with your mom friends right now.
That's what I'm talking about.
I love it.
This would be a great romantic getaway. Could be a
Okay.
great girls trip. Could be a guys trip. I know we saw golf in there. Lots of things going on at the Vendata Resorts. Now's your time, folks. Support with love. What a wonderful night.
So, Patrick, I wanted to sort of wind down the evening with a couple things. First of all, I want to talk about our foster parents, who we just call our heroes. We love them so much. You see, as a foster parent myself, Scott and I decided on our own, like, let's go into this journey. And there are a lot of foster families that do it that way. We do the classes, we have our room set up, and so when we do get the call and we get a child 2 hours later, it's still a panic, but it's still something we've planned for. There are a lot of fathers, and so what happens is they get the call that a niece or a nephew is going into care that they were never planning on. So they could go to work that day, come home, get the call, and all of a sudden have these kids. And so the pressure that adds to those families are so tricky. And so think about if you're 65 on a fixed income, maybe a studio apartment, and then you get a call to take in 3 kids that are your family. And so it's this really tricky situation. So we got this really sweet thank you note from a foster family, and it just resonated so much with me. It's like, we weren't planning this, but we're showing up and we were saying yes. And to me, that is just huge for us tonight. So I wanted to really just, again, reiterate, our foster parents are our heroes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, I want to remind folks, $2,500, buy it now on the Vedanta trip. No bidding. You don't have to worry about it. It is a buy it now price right now. We'll keep this open until Sunday when you can talk it over with whoever you need to talk it over with, right? Invite the neighbors. Invite the in-laws.
Yes.
Don't invite the in-laws. Whatever works in your house, right? It's going to be an incredible opportunity. Thank you so much for everyone for their incredible support. And congratulations, Allie. What a fun night this has been.
Whew, it is something, right?
While I'm thinking about it, though, I want to thank Tom Herzog.
Oh, they've been board members.
Yes,
Cindy Herzog and Tom.
Tom made an incredibly generous gift of $1,000 to With Love tonight.
Oh, I just adore
Thank
them.
you, Tom, for your gift. Also want to thank Kristen and Bonnie, both gave $500. So the numbers are rolling in. This is fantastic. Jen Mays made a donation. Bonnie Rowan, Graham Crow. We got Colby Kavanaugh making a gift. This is awesome, folks. Keep them rolling in. We're going to keep the bank open.
I love it.
Yeah.
So as we close up, I wanted to point out that, this is a great event for us. It's our biggest fundraiser of the year. So we just so appreciate you stepping in. If this is something that you want to walk this journey with us year round, you can go to our website and click the donate button. We have a group called Be the Change, and Be the Change is our monthly donor program. So as a small nonprofit, being able to count on these funds every single month allows us to make decisions for our future and allow us to serve these foster families in amazing ways. So you go click on the donate button on our website, and then you put in how much you want to donate each month, and you can choose the date that it gets pulled, and then you just click reoccurring, and it will just start happening. And this Be the Change group, specifically in this last pandemic, has been so critical because we've been using their money to buy a lot of new gear for With Love and these families. So monthly donors, we would love for you to join us.
Huge. So many question marks in our current society and what's going on. And the fact that you had those monthly donors made a huge difference.
Total game changer for us.
May, your biggest month for deliveries ever in the history of 7 years.
Yep.
And you're able to do that because from help from our friends.
Absolutely.
On that monthly giving, right? This has been an incredible deal.
Now, Patrick, I believe...
Yes, you do.
Yes, we have a name to choose from our Amazon gift card for the early registry. Okay.
So everybody that registered tonight, the team here helping us out in the studio has taken every name and put them in that bowl.
There's a lot of names.
There's a lot of names. I was going to say, it's a popular party yet.
Right. Okay, so we will be sending you the gift card, Mary Liggett. Thank you so much, Mary, for registering. We'll be sending that to you. Now, we at With Love, we always like to have a good party. I know a couple of you are in backyards having a good time with some friends. Thank you for hosting. Thank you for tuning in. I know from all over the U.S. you are here supporting us. We just appreciate you so very much. But at With Love, we like to have good parties. And we always like to end our events with some fun. Uh-oh. Oh, what's happening with this bow tie here?
Let's get busy.
We love you. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you so very much. And I wanted to leave you with a little video from one of our foster parents. Have a good night.
Let's do it.
More cowbell.